All right, this is another episode of the Expresslane Podcast with
Kevin Stan. What's going on? And we got a whole crew with us today. Are you the Loft Boy, or is it the Loft Boyz is the whole crew, or what's going on with that? Sorry, and it's Will is with us. Sorry, before we hop into anything.
Well,
and I'm
Heather.
And Chuck. Yeah, sorry. Once we get on the mic, it's like I know we introduced. I forget everybody's names immediately.
It's all good. Oh no, well, I'm William Lofton, so
okay,
it's a play off on the name.
So you could say you are the Loft Boy.
I am the Loft. The head of. You know
all right, yeah.
I'm just the leader, not no boss. Everybody that's with me is bosses. So but I'm William Lofton. I got, like you said, Heather Richardson. She's the founder and chairman of Heavy Riches LLC.
Okay.
I got Chuck Doe with me. He's actually another Loft Boy. He's actually an artist too, and he's actually founder and chairman of Not Humble Clothing LLC. So
I like that name, Not Humble.
That's a good name, dude.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? I want to say shout out to the Ryder family. My man Ryder, he's the one who kind of facilitated this. I got my son in the building, young Vinny. You know what I'm saying? Lost Boy Jim Vinny. There you go. But yeah, that's the team. It's more. We got some branding going on. We got some bottles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 2 of them you gave to me and Stan, which we were saying before we got on the mic is the first gift that we've had as, doing the podcast. So that's pretty exciting. Somebody finally showed up and recognized what we are.
Listen, I must admit, it was a cheat code. I watched some of the videos. I said, I don't think nobody bought a gift. But I do appreciate the opportunity, and I thank you guys. This is actually my first podcast I'm doing, especially in the new millennium. A podcast. It's probably like some video footage back in the day.
Well, I mean, it's sitting around drinking beers with your buddies. That's what a podcast was. It's just nobody was recording.
Exactly. So,
Well, we appreciate the gift for sure, and being so excited to come on this podcast. Really appreciate that.
Oh no, yeah, definitely.
And it was our first time. I just asked my buddy Mr Shabezz, like, hey, you're a friend. I met him at the gun show. Seems pretty interesting. See if he'd want to come on. I don't know what he's got going on. Yeah. And you're like, oh yeah, man, I'd love to. Thanks. My acquaintance, or what did you say?
I said my booking
agent. Booking agent will get in touch. And I was like, oh shit, I don't know what this guy does. So it was really cool. It's like, I'm just busy. I'm like, oh yeah, I completely understand that. And then I'm talking with her, and she's very nice through text messages, very professional, very nice. So I don't know if you want to give her a raise or whatever.
Oh yeah, definitely. She is definitely the lady of the Loft Boyz. Definitely. If I really can't operate without her. I call her in the mornings. I bug her, you know what I'm saying. But she's like, I have the idea. She helps facilitate it, into where it makes sense.
And I could tell that she was bubbly through words on the screen. I was just like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Especially because I'd be busy doing a lot of stuff, and I'd be busy with this guy. We'd be doing music because I do production too. But we'll get into that later.
Awesome.
All right. Let's get into it now. All right. So what's later is right now.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much what the Loft Boy thing is an entertainment company, more so production. So I used to do music as the artist. Did a lot of touring, not so much like cross country, more so East Coast. Couldn't say I was super big, but it was always fun.
Okay, but enough touring that it's like you had to go sleep in a van or find a place to be for the night.
I think one of my most epic times was I had a show in Brooklyn, and I remember I drove to Levittown, PA, and then we took the train to Jersey, and then the train up to New York, and it was snow on the ground. So it was caught the cab, smoke some weed on Fulton and Flushing. I thought that was so dope. So I seen it in a Biggie video. So, that's the era of hip hop I grew up in. So I thought that was so dope. I will say I thought it was a myth, but yellow cabs don't stop for black people in New York. Yeah, it's crazy. They didn't. It was somebody walking by and was because I'm trying to wave him down. He's like, no, dude, you got to get the all black cabs or the all white cabs. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, shit.
When I waved him down, and we got to the show.
Well, what year was this?
Yeah, you're dating yourself with a yellow cab reference right there. It's all Uber in the city
Uber
anymore,
and Lyft.
Yeah, that was a story I heard from my No, listen, I remember a lot, but I suck with time frames. I can't even remember.
So, but
it was probably at least like probably about at least 10 years ago.
All right.
Because I think it's probably been 10 years since I've been up to New York, but it was when cabs rarely. Uber wasn't even a thing.
Yeah.
So you get a cab, and I remember it was on the Discovery show, Cash Cab. So it's like it's a game show. You get into a cab, and then the guy he drives you to where you're going, and you answer. If you get 3 questions wrong, he's like, "All right, get out." Like,
yeah, I remember that.
But so I remember sitting there and be like, "Oh, he's always in a van." So I'm not calling for like a little cab would I was like, no, I don't want that one. Like I want like the van because I want to try to get on this Cash Cab TV show.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I was cool about getting in a van with a stranger, especially in an odd place that I don't live. But no. So we had the show there. We did the show that night. So it was cool. It was kind of nice little love. We took a cab back to another spot to catch the train to get back, which was cool. We seen the mural of this bodega outside this bodega. It was OD Big. It was like his license, I guess the album cover.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of dope. And so once we got back to Philly, got back to Levittown, I had to immediately hit 95 South and drive to Goldsboro, North Carolina. So like I said, we just left snow. So it's like 85 degrees in North Carolina. So as I'm driving, it's like progressively getting hotter. And I'm in like a 98 Chrysler Concorde that I've never took on like the road or anything, but I'm just, I'm an aspiring artist trying to make it. So it's like my car's overheating. I'm smelling this smell. And I'm like, what the fuck is this smell? So another artist that's riding with me, this fucking dude had like buffalo chicken cold cuts in the fucking back seat, like in the window, and the sun's just beaming on it and shit. So it's just like, yo, dude, what the fuck? He's like, oh, I think it's probably this meat I got in the window. Pause. But
this is day-old chicken,
Yeah, so that was that. So that was the artist thing. But things that didn't always aspire to what I wanted to do. But music was my passion. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, I worked a job. I did the street thing for a while. But just getting to where we at now is I couldn't leave music alone. So, 2020, when everything shut down, I had a job. I won't shout them out because I don't work there no more. And, but they paid well. Everything was shut down. And if I wasn't at work, I was kind of bored. Even though I'm not really an outside person anymore. You know what I'm saying? I like to do stuff, but it's like when you're told you can't do something, that's when you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So now it's just like, fuck what I want to do. So it was just like, I just started buying equipment. I had money, but I had nothing to do. So it was like I started buying equipment. And as an artist, I always think that I always thought the production side of things looked so confusing. So I was just like, I'll just play around with it. So I started playing around with it. Started making some things some people liked. My brother here, Chuck Doe, was like, I was playing some things. He's like, oh, what's that? And I'm like, I don't know, some stuff I've messed around. He's like, no, hold on. So, because he would always try to push me to keep rapping, even though I kind of gave it up. But he was like, yo, keep rapping. So once he started hearing some things, and then he started rapping off my beats, it just started a thing of like me getting back into music and having a reason, having a purpose. You know what I'm saying? So I do a lot of other things, but music is my passion. So I'm trying to do the other things to fund my passion so I can just sit home and make music with this guy. And while this chick sets everything up, and we just make millions, and we put on this podcast, which is like, yo, the podcast that gave us our first chance, you know what I'm saying? And Brother Shabezz hooked it up. The Ryder family, shout out to the Ryder family.
That sounds like a pretty good, vision to me.
Listen,
so especially if we're in there, we're getting the shout out eventually.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And also, that's awesome that you were just like, you tried your dream, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So if you make it to your deathbed, you can at least say, hey, tried it.
Yeah, tried it. And I feel as though it's not over.
Yeah.
Because see, this is the thing. One thing as an artist that I lacked was beats and a producer and a studio. I got to a point, you get older, you mature, but like I said, my passion didn't leave. So I'm like, fuck that. I got money now. I get that shit myself. And we in a different age now where it's like, I don't need no record label. Like, fuck is you talking about? Like, We got the internet. Like, y'all gonna see us. That's how y'all see us now. But you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, no, I can do what I want. Like, you either buy as a man, you either gonna do what you gotta do, or you gonna ask somebody to help you. Not saying that men don't ask for help, because I had to learn that as a man, that you gotta set ego and pride aside and ask for help when you need it. But I mean, like, you gotta stand on your own too, because I will help everybody, but I will not help anybody who won't help themselves. You know what I'm saying? It always starts there.
Yeah. If someone's not, like you said, if you're not gonna be willing to help yourself, like, why am I gonna? I'm gonna reach out for you, and you're just gonna like you give like a little like alligator arm, like yo, come on, like reach,
Exactly.
put it out there.
Because then you're handicapping them. Because then you're handicapping them. Because it's like we know our loved ones and people that we care about, we always try to do for them, and there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, is if we do everything for them, how will they learn to do it for themselves? And if we love them, we want them to grow. If they are the next generation, we want them to blossom better than we did. So my thing is like, give them the game instead of just giving them things. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, if you can, like the old saying, if you feed a man a fish, he eats for a day. If you teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. It's just like that. You know what I'm saying?
So like that just makes me think of what did you think about that video about T.I.'s son? Like, I feel like that's super embarrassing to T.I. Like, did you see it? He was in the Waffle House, and he was just talking about going back and killing the guy. It's like, dude, you're T.I.'s son. What the fuck are you talking about? You didn't live that life. Your father lived that life. That's super embarrassing.
Yeah,
at least that's what I felt about it.
Or is it more embarrassing that T.I.'s doing stand-up and getting booed off stage?
That's something different.
First of all, shout out to T.I. Yeah. I don't know my future opportunity.
Yeah, all right.
Sorry for the shot, T.I.
All right, look.
No.
Look, I like the Rubber Band Man.
Yeah.
It's all out of love. No, you know what? I will say this. Our youth is under a lot of pressure. More pressure than we had to. So I don't know with his son how he felt.
And I guess he's always getting tried. I get that perspective.
Like, his dad is rich.
It's different nowadays to be like, whatever it is from school, or you're getting bullied, or you're dealing with stress.
Yeah.
Now you come home, like, for when I think we were all young, you come home, it's like, all right, relax, like, it's take a breath. But with social media now, it's you come home and it's like all that same pressure is still right there. There is no relief from a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, that's true. And it's like, once it hits online, it's always there. Somebody screenshot it. Somebody,
So I'm always telling my kid, like, dude, look, whatever you say, whatever you do, somebody on the other side can be recording. You think you're with your buddies or whatever, but you get a real job 10 years from now, you said some crazy shit online that pops up. It's there forever. Yeah. Like, these kids got to realize. And anybody we bring in here, like, hey, look, we're a small podcast. Like, we're trying to build our stuff up. But if this never goes anywhere, it's still online, and somebody can still search your name.
Podcast is going to the moon.
We hope.
Man, we're not stopping at the moon. We're going.
Mars.
Exactly.
Mars.
Yeah. I got put on to new multiverses, so I think we can. It's endless now, right? Shout out to the MCU if y'all want to give me a job. I do production. Like, if you need me in the MCU, just.
Those spoilers though. I haven't seen the Doctor Strange yet.
You don't know what you missing. I'm gonna say that.
I seen some screenshots of the movie that I'm a little annoyed at, because I was just like scrolling Instagram. I was like, oh shit, that's like a major thing from Doctor Strange. It's like, fuck, I didn't see it. Yeah. And I saw this thing. It's like, shit, I don't want that.
YouTube love dropping the Easter eggs.
Yeah, I hate it.
It's all good.
I hate it. You get like then the movie comes out, and then all the commercials for the movie have the spoilers in it. You're like, stop. Like, I just want to watch a Phillies game without getting the movie spoiled. Like,
yeah. How about that? Yeah. So
all right. So back to you were following your passions. You were doing your thing, and then what happened?
So, life happens.
Yeah.
When music ain't paying. Well. Besides, music didn't have to pay the bills. Like I said, this is something that I would do for free. That's why I knew to say, like, I need other forms of income, because I would do this. Like, I was doing open mics and all that other stuff. Basically, the team that I was dealing with, we had a falling out. I'm not going to state their name. I ain't going to say nothing. Like, I don't want to get no light. I don't want no shade, because it's all love. I come with positivity. There's negativity nowhere, because I look at it like, once I've been positive and try to keep positive vibes around me, my life has been better. So I don't shout out to them.
What happened. We're in the future.
Yeah, I'm great. Hopefully they see this Podcast because I don't see them on none.
Ah, there you
Was
go.
that a little shot? Was that considered a shot?
There was some shade. There was a little
Maybe.
bit. It got a little shady.
Maybe.
A little bit
shady. A little shady. But no, you know, I kept working. I always worked, even when I was kind of like geared off into the streets. I always kind of kept a job. Like, you know, I remember it was a time I was working at Red Lobster up Springfield, PA. Excuse me. My homies in West Philly. Shout out to West Philly. Shout out to Toho 215. Let's put that out there right there. But yeah, I was living in West Philly and I was working at Red Lobster Springfield. And my homies, I won't say no names, even though it's after 7 years, they can't get no indictments or anything like that. I don't know the laws. But yeah, they was selling weed, right? But a lot of people around my way sold weed. So their way to top everybody, they was selling 2 for $5s. That's when Nick Bags was out and shit. Okay. So they was selling 2 for $5s and shit. So I was like, oh shit, I work where people smoke weed, but they ain't got no weed, and I could be the only one with weed. So I would go buy $40 worth of weed before my shift and sell it to these motherfuckers for nicks. So I would come up, I would double my money while I'm, you know, and I was a host, so I ain't had to worry about, like, you know, I just sat people. I was a personality. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I just told people the bad news is going to be 45 minutes for you and your family. Sorry, sir.
But if you want to waste that time and get high.
Yeah, but if you listen, you know, if you want to walk to the car.
You want that 45 minutes to seem like 5.
Yeah, exactly. That's back when I used to think Red Lobster was kind of dope. No shade at Red Lobster, just in case, you know. But, yeah, I thought that growing up, I thought that was so dope. Like, oh, shit, it's a lobster in the fucking place. Like, in the tank, you could pick it. Never picked my own lobster. Most people I know that did said it was overrated. It's only, like, the claw and the tail you can eat.
It's like, lobster's all right, but it's overpriced for, like, just big crab. Like, if you like crab, it's the same shit. It's just bigger.
Yeah. It's like funny that you say that.
Crawfish.
And now, what's funny, like, lobster is like, now you think of, like, it's rich people food. Like, only, like, people with money eat lobster. Yeah. Back in, like, when the country was founded and, like, even before that, lobster throughout history was poor people food. They're like, I guess I'll go catch some lobster. Like, I don't have food or I don't have money to buy anything. Lobster's in the ocean. I'll go get some. Wow. But nowadays, you're like, shit, I don't have money for lobster.
It's like whatever you can't get is what costs a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like if you live in like an island where it's all seafood, they don't care about that. But if you got like a burger, they like, oh shit, where cows at? Fuck, you get a cow from.
It's funny that you say that about Red Lobster though, because like growing up poor, it's like that was a nice place to go, or at least. And I don't eat seafood or anything, but it was like, you know, our parents or whatever, like, yeah, we're going to Red Lobster. Like, oh really? Like, wow, that's expensive food.
Yeah, right.
Like, didn't even realize, because we're used to McDonald's or fast food. We're going to a real restaurant like Red Lobster.
A night at Sizzler was a whole night out.
Yeah.
Whoa, Sizzler was the wave, bro. Like, Sizzler. Yes, a Sizzler steak. Yes, I like Sizzler. You remember Ponderosa?
No.
Telling my age. Yeah, I read it on Google.
Yeah.
That's my answer to everything. I read it on Google.
Yeah, or an uncle told you about it.
Yeah, my uncle told me about it. Yeah. So.
He told me to read it on Google.
There you go. Yeah, he heard about Google from his grandson.
All right, so we're on to you fall out, and then you're doing your own thing. You're like, you never lose the passion, but meanwhile, life's taking control. You got to make money. You got to do things.
Yeah, you got to. So, you know, still working. I was still doing, like, I think I did some music after that. Yeah, I dropped a mixtape called Say La Vie that's on DatPiff right now, datpiff.com. Actually, I got a few mixtapes on datpiff.com. Old stuff, but, you know, if y'all want to check into the old me, you know, type in Vinny Blanco. Yeah. There's another Vinny Blanco out there. It's a white guy. I'm not white. Shout out to white people. It's not, no offense.
We're here.
I support my own. But you know what I'm saying? I have no hate in my blood, but I'm not the white Vinny Blanco. He's from like New York or Brooklyn. You know. Yeah. I was going to pay him a visit, but shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? I own in. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
sorry, we weren't the first Expresslane, but we saw where like we came up with the name and then we saw like, oh shit, like somebody else has it, and then we're like, oh, they haven't done a podcast in 2 years. Like, we're
Right.
just taking that shit. That's
Yeah,
ours.
they didn't
Doesn't
create
matter.
the IG. They didn't buy the domain. So we're
That's
the
because
Express Lane.
they're not the
Yeah, exactly.
Express Lane.
Yep.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But I'm sorry. Did I get off track? Where you
No, I mean that's our whole podcast. Is
That's
off
cool.
track.
Yeah.
We tell stories, man.
Yeah, the Express Lane. Sometimes you switch lanes.
Yep.
Yeah,
There you go.
absolutely.
Can I? Shout out to Loft Boy Vinny. Can you? Come on, get on the camera real quick. I need
Yeah,
to-
come. He's filming with the
Yeah, I
camera,
need
but
I
get
need
him
another
camera
glass.
side here.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. But
No, shout out to this guy. He just graduated West Catholic High School the other day. What was that, Wednesday? Yes. Yeah. So,
Now, did he graduate or he barely get out? Because I barely got out.
No, he actually graduated. He did well.
Good.
I'm fucking proud of him. He
Awesome.
fucking did it.
they just gave you a diploma so you wouldn't come back.
Man, I was scared. Barely made it out of there.
I'll say 4.4 GPA.
Damn,
Oh, shit.
This is
All right.
all AP
Stunt,
classes
son.
and everything.
Stunt, son. Stunt.
That's awesome.
You had colleges, climbing over to get you, huh? You said,
I got 127,000 in Holy Family University.
damn, all right.
Shout out to Holy Family. My son's coming.
Beautiful.
Yeah, watch
Yo,
out.
can we
watch
work
out,
it-
Holy Family.
Yeah, can we work out a deal on that? Like, what is it? What do you need? Like, board in there? Because you're trying to stay on campus? Yeah, can we work something out? Shout out to Holy Family. Express Lane. We looking out. You know what I'm saying? Oh, son, can you pour me up a glass? Shock Dog can sit back then.
Yeah. But so it seems like you were doing music and it wasn't working out, so you got the regular job. But then 2020 hit, and we kind of got a similar thing with
Yeah.
us. That it was like
I feel like everybody did.
we got the free money, we got free time because nothing was open, you couldn't do anything, and we thought like, all right, well, it was really Stan said, yeah, I know we talked about doing a podcast like 2 years ago. Like, do you still want to do it? And we said, yeah, sure. And we kind of used that free time, free money, and the whole 2020 deal to get ourselves like start going, and then even it still took a year to 2021 to
Yeah.
actually do it.
Yep.
So like we were dragging our feet, but I think it's the same. And a lot of artists all over the place took that same route. That was like, I'm doing this job that I don't particularly like, and I still have this thing that I like am in love with.
Yeah.
That let me like kind of put this time and energy into the thing that I want to do now.
Yeah.
And it seems you got a whole brand and production
Yeah.
company and the
Yeah.
deal out of it.
Yeah, like it's so let's rewind a little bit, right? So I was working for the city, but before I get to the city, I want to tell this quick story because you already told me prior to us coming on air that y'all tried to get Brother Shabezz on the camera, and he said he's not ready yet. So
He's
I'm
not ready yet.
So even if I ain't trying to put him out there, but I'm gonna put a story out there so y'all can pick him and mess with him. So and ask him this to try to get him on the show. So when I was working at Red Lobster, right? Me and Brother Shabezz. Brother Shabezz is one of the other brothers he's another brother that likes money. You know what I'm saying? And I like money too. So we was working at UPS. UPS, I might need a deal on some shipments, or the Express Lane might. But so yeah, I'm fucking marketing. No, so listen, so when I was working at Red Lobster, I also had a job at night at UPS. So I can't remember exactly how it happened, but Brother Shabezz.
It's cool.
He
Go
was
ahead.
working at UPS too. We was working there together. So it's funny as hell, right? So after work, after our shift, we used to go to my house. Whatever my mom cooked that night, we would fucking eat that shit, right? So this dude was like, yo, and like Brother Shabezz, he was a little heavier at the time. I was skinnier at the time. So he was fucked up that I would eat way more than him. So he was like, my mom would make some good ass baked macaroni and cheese, and I would fucking put like more cheese on. He's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, yo, trust me, yo. Trust me. So we would eat that shit, maybe some chicken wings and shit, and we'd be good. And I will fucking eat some cereal. Like I need a dessert after my fucking meal. He like, yo, you're crazy. And we would sit there after probably being, we probably had some libations or whatever our vice was at the time. Before we got to my mom's house, and then after we would eat there, we would sit there and watch Conan O'Brien at night before this motherfucker went home.
Coco, all right.
Conan O'Brien was our shit, man, and that's when Andy was on the show. Don't get it fucked up.
He's
man.
the real
Shout out
star.
to Conan O'Brien, man.
That's awesome. That's a beautiful story.
Yeah, so that was that, and then moving forward. I started working with the city and all this other shit. Like I was working at the War Department. I started the War Department, I think like 07, 08, some shit like that. Worked there for about a good 10 years. And they had transferred as an industrial electrician actually. And I was actually still doing music then. People would see it. They was like, I don't work there no more and I don't need that fucking job. So I'm going to say this shit now. Fuck y'all. That's a shot down don't need. I will say this. I used to, my mixtape, Schizophrenic mixtape, which is on deadpip.com also. I recorded that myself. I put it together myself, and that's when we still had CDs. I burnt the CDs in the electrical rooms with my partner with a laptop, one by one. 600 CDs. Then I got another 600. That was 1,200. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, Chuck, I think Tia put me down with somebody to order from or something like that. Either way, probably so. Yo, so yeah, shout out, that's our Tia.
But that's
our sister. Yo, what's Tia? What's Yo, shout that out real quick, bro.
Shout out Quack Attack Daycare, Cotman Avenue, Frankfurt Avenue. Come on.
Yeah, we do a lot of stuff. Two daycares.
I can only imagine how long because burning a CD, it's not like it wasn't like a computer nowadays where it's like
Listen,
zip zip. Like it's like you had to let it load and it's going for 10, 20 minutes at a time.
I will say this: when you're working for the city, you have nothing but time. They make up work that you. I'm saying the cheat codes. I don't work anymore. They make up shit for you to do out of 8 hours of the day. Like they like, hey, check this machine. Like it's running. Like it been running for like since I've been working here, and I checked it like a month ago. Like what the fuck? Like why not fix broke shit? So it's like you're just sitting there, you just babysitting machines. So it's like I forgot how long it was. It's probably like maybe 3 minutes of time. But it's just like pop. I'm talking to my partner. When I hear that thing pop out, just another one. Boom. It's just like. And then I remember I went on the road with that shit. Up and down the East Coast, I went down like Dundalk, Maryland. Shout out to them. I forgot the name of that spot. That's when I did the run with the North Carolina and New York trip. I was moving around. I did a lot of shows at Mill Creek Tavern on 42nd and Chester. Shout out to Mill Creek.
That was
you know
fun.
what I'm saying?
That was
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was the terminal of 69th Street.
Yeah.
I did a lot. I had a,
Oh yeah, that's 6th Street Night Lounge. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a nice little run. It was like I said, it was fun, and because of the fun and the passion, that's what never let it go. So even though I was working through the city and everything, once I left the War Department, I was actually the industrial electrician for City Hall, Philadelphia, for 3 years. So Christmas Village, that fucking Christmas tree. All the little events, this Pride Month, the Pride events that went down in the courtyard, that was me for 3 years setting this shit up electrically. So you're welcome. Shout out to all y'all.
It was beautiful.
No, but yeah, so, but I appreciated that time because if it wasn't for that time, I already had the passion, but that time I was around people that was really moving and shaking. So I befriended council people. I befriended lawyers, judges. I know Mayor Kenny. You know what I'm saying? So I befriended a lot of people, some of the security, his guards, the cops and stuff. So I'm around different people that are different levels of class now. And they took a liking to me. They see I'm a genuine spirit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, like I said, I don't bring negativity. So they would just say certain things about me being an electrician. They would say this, that, and the third. And then I ask questions. Like, yo, how did you become, or how do you have, then they would give me a little bit of insight. One thing I will say about the difference, shout out everybody that's out there, if y'all want to know the difference between a talker and a doer, a talker will tell you a bunch of stuff they do, how to do it, this, that, and third. They'll get spin it a whole bunch. A doer is going to give you certain things and then see what you do with that. And if you come back with that, they give you more. Because as I learned, a lot of things that I've learned, you waste your breath just telling people stuff and they're not going to listen, and you get discouraged when they don't do it. So I don't want to get to the point where I just stay closed mouth, because I believe that my community is not stupid. I believe we lack information, and I believe we lack a lot of guidance. So my thing is, I don't want to get sour to hold all the information. I just want to make sure I put it in the right places. So if I know somebody is serious, they'll come back and say, hey, I did this, that, and third. What's next? And I'm like, bet. I give you more. But I could talk to you blue in the face, and you don't really give a fuck. Then I just wasted my breath. And if I see that, that's not gonna make me want to talk to anybody else. So I had to learn that. So you know what I'm saying? And that's what they did for me. So I wouldn't be at this point if it wasn't for that time, because I learned, people showed me how actually the world moves, how business is done. You know what I'm saying? Like, we be really chasing the wrong thing. And not to segue past, Loft Boyz Entertainment, but that's another thing that I do, is I do motivational speaking as William Lofton, as me. Because I believe that a lot of us just, like I said, lack information. If we knew the opportunities that we had, we would maybe choose different routes.
I 100% agree. Like, especially coming out of high school, they say, go to college. What are you going to do in college? Like, what's your major going to be? But I'm not like, I tried college and was like, this is not for me. Like, I shouldn't be wasting my time here. And then I talked to people that I know, friends and acquaintances I get, and I was like, oh, you come out of college and now I got a buddy that's making 6 figures, does electrical. I'm like, oh, like, I didn't even know that was an option coming out of like high school. It was like, you can go join the union and get an apprenticeship and do this, that, and the other thing. It was like, it's so forced down your throat of being like, you got to go to college, which there wasn't any recognition that I wasn't somebody that should have been going to college. I should have been out there doing work, getting, busy before trying to like sit in a classroom. I got ADHD or whatever it might be. Like, I can't, this is the longest I'm going to sit still for today doing this.
Right. No, it's just, they put a label on stuff, but the thing is like, and this is not no shot at no system or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, we have to understand, like, certain things are put in place and we have to explore more. You know what I mean? Like you said about college. I don't have a shot against college, but I feel sorry for the people that spend $40,000 a year for 4 years to make $40,000 a year. And then they struggle to find a job. When probably you can Google this, statistics show, like, a license and certificates can take you way further, cost way less if you look at dollars and cents as far as investment wise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I can get a certificate that shows that, like, I'm a boss, that you have to respect this, and then I could pay somebody that has a college degree to make whatever I say actually happen.
It's almost like, from the way I see it, college is like networking. Like, if you know what you're doing and what you want to be doing, then it's good to be there and like making connects of who's going to be doing things similar.
It's definitely college. There's nothing wrong with college. It's definitely needed and necessary for depending on what you want to go for. But I believe, like how you said, it should be not pushed upon you when you're not even sure what you want to do. That's a lot of money to try to figure it out. You know, a house is like the house market is crazy now. Segue and cheap plug. Loft and Lofts LLC is another company that I am founder and chairman of. Housing investment company, yeah. So, but the housing market is going crazy right now. So, it's like, what's the house like? The median market is like $250,000, $300,000. So it's like, would you want to bet that to say, oh, this is what I might want to. This is where I might want to live.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that's a lot of money. So you're doing that with college, saying this is what I might want to do, because whether you do that or not, you still got that bill.
Yeah, well, and then I think it's on the colleges too, because they get some of these degrees. In my opinion, are like just kind of a bullshit degree. You get like some liberal arts college that has this just general studies degree or like
Exactly.
just these things that's like what do you think you're gonna like? My sister, she got a psychology degree, and I'm like, well, are you gonna be a psychologist? She's like, no. I was like, so why are you getting this degree? Like, what's the point of that?
Mm-hmm.
And now she works in it. She's got a really good job, but has nothing to do with psychology. So, like,
That's how it goes.
what was the point of getting that degree? And I think there's a lot of that there's these degrees that people are wasting their time on, and then they come out and they're like, well, how come I went to school to study, architecture and like history of barns? Where like, how come there's no jobs? Like, because who's gonna pay you to know about barns from the 1700s? Like,
yeah.
it's these things that they're like, I'm just gonna do it so I can go party.
I also think it's like a lot of, you've got these kids in school for another 4 years with no life experience. So when they come out, they're kind of like they just came out of high school.
Yeah.
They're partying for 4 years, or maybe they're doing their work also. But
Yeah, but I mean, I partied for 4 years and I wasn't in college, so
yeah, but you come out and you're 24 years old. And you're going out into the job market and you're trying to. You've been living kind of in a bubble that 4 years extra. You don't have any life experience, so what are you going to do?
Metaverse.
Yeah.
Pretty soon, if Zuckerberg is going to get what he wants.
Yeah. I think when we was growing up, we had more life experience more so than the computer and online than the generation of now.
Yeah.
So Stan, like you was saying, like I think they more in a bubble than we was. Like Kev, you said you partied for 4 years without college, but you still had life experience. Like
I still had to I was partying, but I still had to get up the next day and go to work. Like it was like,
see, like they don't.
Kevin, what happened? Like, oh man, don't ask.
Yeah, the youth don't get that nowadays. But the one thing that the youth has nowadays that we didn't have is like jobs is like crazy. Like they can really like work a job for like just a paycheck and then go to the next one.
Yeah, find a new one. Like,
Yeah, like it's
this
one of
isn't
the
really
weird
working
times.
out. Like, you don't have to stay there. Like, damn, I got to stay here.
Yeah, yeah.
They can move on.
But see, with college,
But it is grab me one if you're up there, Stan. But I like we're
well, what is he grabbing?
a beer.
What are you drinking? Miller High
High
Life?
Life, yeah.
The champagne of beers. Give me one, Stan, please.
Man. Shout out. We were talking about.
Please. Shout out Ryder again.
it's
He
on.
knows about the Miller High Life champagne.
The red one.
No.
I say, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
High Life, it was shout out Jersey's Sports Bar and Grill. You get it. They go Monday nights, $1 High Life. So that was, you talk about 4 years of partying, and that was 4 years of Monday nights.
Nothing wrong with that. Monday nights is usually when people be doing wing nights. If
That
it's
was
not
the
Wednesday-
same thing. It was
yeah,
$1 High Life
yeah.
and 50-cent wings. So it was
Yeah,
like we would
yeah.
go, and it was like you'd come in with a $20, get a bunch of beers, some wings to eat, and you can get out of there.
Right.
That was good for a kid that was pretending to go to college and trying to make some money at the same time.
There was this place on 15th and South, right, called Tritone. I used to perform there too. They had
Yeah, I mean, we're still going. We can always cut it if we have to. So
they had
No, I'm okay. Thanks, Sam.
this $3 special where you get a shot and a Pabst Blue Ribbon beer, a shot of whiskey.
oh yeah, it's like the city special.
yeah,
Yeah.
shot the
Hashtag
shot, man.
Yeah,
$10,
I've
you
been
be
down.
fried.
Yeah.
15th and South Tritone. They used to be there. Another joint they used to perform at. They no, it was like yeah, because they got that little ramp that you can walk up and go in.
It's right next to like an open lot.
Yeah. So they used to have this special where it was like the Philly special or something like that. It was like a shuck and shot where you get a shot of whiskey and a like a little Pabst Blue Ribbon beer for like $3. $10, man, you fried. You know.
That's why I think it was.
If you find a chick who drink whiskey and beer, man, you're in there tonight. You're having a baby.
The play.
You just started a relationship. You didn't even know. Like my man Ryder say, he's like, do you love her? Do you love her? Yeah, man. Fucking great.
That was always. It was down in Fishtown. It was like I think it was $5, but it was a pounder. It was a tall boy PBR, and then a shot of Jack Daniels.
Yeah, Fishtown ain't like black people that much. We ain't go down there that much. This kind of hippie now.
Oh, it's totally. It's like
very hippie
and
now. It's very nice. They got a hold on. So before you say that, they got a fucking because I love coffee, right? They have a fucking whatever that espresso is with the yellow shit. It's like the
blonde one?
Hispanic coffee. I don't want to be disrespectful.
Oh, I don't know the name. I know
Yeah,
it starts with a
but
C.
that shit. They got a whole like corner situation. Like I don't know. That shit is dope. They didn't open up yet, but yeah, I wanted to. But yeah, Fishtown is nice. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
He said it's all right.
It's
So-
a little too much for me. I wouldn't want to like. It's nice to go down for a night,
Yeah,
but I
not
wouldn't.
live.
Oh yeah, no.
It's too much.
Too many
Up.
woke people. Like too many people. That's like
It's too many parades you would have to go to now.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
say that. Let's say that. Let's say
that's-
that.
that's a
There's
good
too
way to
many
put it.
parades you would have to go to.
You got to be an activist every day.
You know, listen, I'm gonna say this too. You would think I have a PR person. I don't. At the most, it's still Heather Richardson.
All right, so since we're talking about Philly, where did you grow up at, and what was growing up there like? If you want to talk a little bit about that.
So I grew up in West Philly, 60th Street. I was on 60th Street. I lived there till about like. So 60th Street, where I lived at in West Philly, we was kind of more so known for our hands. Not saying that people wasn't. Yeah, like that's what it was. Like, North Philly was shooting people a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? But it was dope. Like, we had like nice houses and shit. Like, it wasn't. Not saying that nobody was like well off, but it was a section of the city when you drive through, you're like, hey, this is kind of nice. You know what I'm saying? You can tell it's still, the ghetto is still row homes, but they're kind of nice. It was a dope vibe. Like I said, times was different then, so it was just like, it was just cool. That's where I first got a touch of the streets. I used to bribe my mom. My mom loves Swedish fish. Shout out to my mom, Valerie Lofton. You made a great son. No, but I used to bribe. She loves Swedish fish, so I used to bribe my mom with Swedish fish to stay out later. So I'd be like, I had to come in at 10 o'clock, and I'd be like, Mom, the Chinese store got some more Swedish fish. I can get you some. She'd be like, you want to stay out later? I'd be like, yes. She'd be like, all right, bring me some. And, you got a couple hours. I'm like, cool. So, but it was all right. It was like a community. You knew pretty much everybody in around your neighborhood. It was rough, but it wasn't super violent like how it is today. But it was cool. I didn't live far from this dude that I keep bringing up, Brother Shabezz. I think Brother Shabezz owed me a check. I brought him up a lot. I don't know what this dude owed me, but
You're definitely his hype man.
yeah, like damn, like
So are we though, because we talk about him all the time too. I got to cut it out.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy. Shout out to Miss Carol, Mr. Donnie. They made a great guy. No, but I'm from so it was kind of cool. And then I moved up. I started moving around like 16, 17. Had a little situation with me and my dad. We didn't always see eye to eye. So I moved with my sister. That's when I met these ones. These ones. What people I love. Like everybody in this room. And, I just met you guys, but, it's cool. I met you before, but, it's all love. But everybody in this room is family. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a genuine love for these people. Like, they're not homies or this is family. You know what I'm saying? And that's with Loft Boyz and everything. Like, these people got other businesses and entities and stuff they do, but they came together, and I love them for supporting me and helping me what I'm trying to do. And that's because they know that I have the type of heart. Anything I can do for them, I will. You know what I'm saying? So, I moved to North. That's where I met them. I moved around. I went from Kensington to fucking, what was it, Hunter Park, fucking Frankfurt, fucking Albany, shit like, it was like I was a nomad after like 16, 17 years old. I was just moving. Like, I lived on 16th and Poplar. That's where, his mom used to reside. Like, it's crazy. Like, so I moved around. But Philly as a whole, I stayed in West Philly until like 16, 17. And then when I moved around, that's when I started seeing different pockets of Philly. Every section in Philly, we're the same, but everybody do stuff different. Everybody, it's a little bit tweaking the lingo. It's a little bit tweaking how they do things. Like I used to always say, like, yo, West Philly, like we used to, and I'm not promoting this, but when we used to do some things to try to make some money, we used to do it individually, and I'm like, yo, the dudes up north be like 30 deep, and they all together, they get it cheaper, and they make more money. Why are we doing it like this? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, but still, no, it was all love. But, you know, it was rough, even though Philly's a beautiful city, but I'm not going to front like it wasn't rough. Like, we have some very rough spots, and I didn't start really appreciating Philly until I started working for the city of Philadelphia downtown. Because we from the hood. We don't give a fuck about the monuments and all this other shit. Like, dog, we from the, you know what I mean? We ain't going downtown for that. We went to the gallery. We trying to buy some fit. You know what I mean? Like, we trying to get lit. Like, so once I worked in that aspect, then I seen, oh shit, now I see what the tourists come here for. You know what I'm saying? When I look at these old, when I'm in City Hall and you look at the door hinge, you open the door and the door hinge has fucking detailed craftsmanship of the building. You ain't buying no fucking door hinge like that out here. The handles are brass. When you see steel metal beams, but it's artwork in them, you like, shit, nobody's making shit like that. Nobody's making buildings out of limestone and this stuff because it costs too much. So you start appreciating the stuff that's here. You know what I'm saying? When I worked in the basement, and I learned that in the basement, City Hall is sub-basement. You know what I'm saying? I learned that downtown is where they had slaves going underneath, like Independence Hall. So I learned more about my history. I learned more about the history of where I grew up at.
Go like Underground Railroad coming underneath.
So you know how you've been to the gallery before, right?
Yes.
So you know how, I don't know, gallery on the 8th Street, they have like the Greyhound Amtrak and all that shit. So it's like you underneath ground, but that's another level. Sorry, it's another level underneath that.
Okay.
So I literally from City Hall, which is on 1400 JFK Boulevard, Moussaie, Broad and Market, from there underground, I could walk all the way from the Comcast building all the way to Penn's Landing without popping up. You'll never see me.
Wow. That's
which was a
never
gem when I worked there.
I
was a gem when I worked there. Dude, listen, if the lights is on, they wasn't petty like the War Department. If the lights is on, they cool. If the mayor needs something, council needs something, it's a rush. But other than that, fuck it, man. I was just chilling.
So I think that's what I was looking for one of these podcasts is like, that's a bridge. You talk about you just don't have information. Well, when you got that job, you got the information,
yes.
And that bridged like two people. Like, all right, this is why they're doing their thing, and we're just struggling, so we don't give a shit about the brass handles. Like, fuck that. That doesn't mean anything when you're struggling to eat or your family's broken apart or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's the bridge right there, just getting the information.
Yeah, see, it's just like...
And then you being one person getting in there, you can bring that back to your people and be like, hey, guys, did you ever notice any of this shit? Yeah. And you know that some of them might say, fuck that, we don't care about that. Yeah. But to people that are looking, they could look to you and then follow in your footprints. And if that thing you were saying about if they want to learn more, you'll give them the more.
Yeah, that's true. See, a lot of people don't aspire to have a Lamborghini. You know why? Because they don't think they're going to fucking get one. I'm tired. I want to say this to the world on some real shit. Like, stop saying stuff you don't need. You may not need it. That is true. But don't mean you may not deserve to have it, or don't mean you cannot have it. Let's stop this narrative that no matter where I grew up, how my family is, this is the end all say all. So it's just like, especially America, I don't know about other countries, but in America, it's like this narrative of, you know, go to school, go to college, get a good job, get a family, have some nice kids and everything, work on get a good 401k, have a retirement plan, get a home. Maybe not in that order, but somewhat in that.
It's all, here's your life, risk-free.
And then inflation keeps fucking going up. So then your retirement plan, 401k, it hurts listen, it really hurts to see people, grandmom, working in Walmart, greeting people, working in Rite Aid and shit because they can't make ends meet. You know what I'm saying? People move to, elderly people move to certain compounds, and not like compounds, but like, you know, what's the, like trailer parks and stuff like that, just because it's easier living. You know what I'm saying? HOAV HOA fees skyrocketed. Like, this is where, because I need to downsize. I don't need all this. I don't need all this house. My kids are grown. They all living their own life. Let's downsize. They either go to an apartment or they do something like that. But with everything escalating, now you're forcing older people to go back to work.
Yeah, it's not.
That's not cool.
And there's no taking care. And like you said with the trailer parks, like, it was a news report that I was just watching that they a lot of people that live in trailer park, they own the trailer, but they don't own the land. They're renting the space, and these like BlackRock and these big companies coming in are buying it all up, and it's like the rental property of like the land that your trailer is on has gone up like 150% in the last like 3 years. It's something ridiculous that is just like, because people don't think about it, so it's out of sight, out of mind, and these giant companies come in, buy it all up, and it's like, hey, fuck you, pay us.
Yeah, so that's why, like, my whole mission right now is, besides the music and everything, my whole mission is, like Stan was saying, like the bridge, is bridging the gaps between cultures, generations. Because the problem we be having is, especially in I could say in the black culture, in our culture, we have a problem with our elders and our seniors. They tell us where we come from, but they stay stuck in that. And a lot of the youth don't really want to hear that. And the youth be saying where things is going, and the elders not trying to hear that. So I feel as though my era is in a sweet spot because I know how to text and still write shit down with a pencil or a fucking pen. You know what I'm saying? Because when the computers crash, I have it somewhere else. You know what I mean? So it's just like, so I feel as though that's where the disconnection is how moving forward. I do appreciate knowing where I came from. But if that's all where you're going to stay at, I cannot move forward. I can't live in the past. You know what I'm saying? Let's merge the two and see how we can move forward. Even with cultures and races, like, all right, what problems do we really have with each other? Like, seriously. Like, what's the problem? Because I'm black, because you're white, because you're yellow, because you're Asian, because what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? Like with the LGBTQ community, sorry, I can't say it right, but that community, like, what's our problem with them? Like, you could do what you want to do. Like, I shouldn't have to, like, be forced into a corner to say something. Listen, shout out to you. You're a human being at the end of the day.
That's something that is, whether it's black, white, Republican, Democrat, like whatever it is, when you stop and you think and you go, what do we have in common? Like, that list is way longer than the shit that you're apart on. Exactly. And people don't think about that, though. They think, oh, like, it's these things that are based to everybody that you don't think about, where it's like, but really, that's what you should think about, is that we're all one together. Like, this is the things we have in common. Maybe we disagree on who the best player in basketball is, but what are we going to, like, hate each other over something like that? Like,
exactly.
That's just like a goofy one, but you can think about, like, you know,
seriously.
These divides that people have. That's like, but that doesn't really matter. What matters is that we're the same, like, type of people. Like, everybody's the same when it comes down to it. Like, you want to look out for your friends and family, and I want to look out for my friends and family, and what's the difference there? There isn't any.
Yeah. And it's like you said, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I feel as though if we be better in our own, first of all, it starts in the household. Starts in the household where you live at. Like, get everybody in the household on the same page. And us men, I'm gonna say this, us men, let's get our household on the same page as us. We gotta compromise. We can't be dogmatic with it. I feel as though we can't let women run our decisions, but we do have to compromise with our women. They're very important in our lives. But we have to get our households on the same page. That is our job as men. That is one of our jobs as men. So if we take care of our household, it will leak out into the streets. It'll leak out into the streets, then leak out into the community. Once it leaks out into the community, it just spreads like a virus, like the pandemic.
And that's one of the things that gets lost in, like, the suburbs and the rural when you get further out, that the city does better, is whereas you take care of your house and then it leaks out to your neighbors, and that where you get some of the suburbs where I grew up was like, oh, like, we can do whatever in our house, and then you get out to, like, your yard or your street, and it's kind of like you leave people alone. Where like I had neighbors in the street that I grew up on, like 3 houses up. I don't know their names. Like I didn't know who they were.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's
that's
like you
how it
get
is.
shit like that. That it's like, but if you really were together as a community, then you know people more, and then
Exactly.
it's easier to say we can all come together on these things. That
Yeah.
when the water pipe bursts, you don't ignore that shit. Like now we have 50, 70 people from the street that are like, hey, that needs to get taken care of right now.
Yeah.
Where if it's one person comes, like, oh, one person's complaining about this water pipe, we don't fucking want that shit. Like, we're not going to waste our time on that.
Right. So it like you said, that community of being together, and we have to be better. Like I said, we know our options. We can be better for the youth because, like my son, he's 18. I'm battling the fucking internet to raise him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see all the branding and all this shit. Like, he see other people doing it. So if I'm not doing this, if I struggle from check to check and he sees me come home and I'm struggling, I'm not happy, why would he listen to me about my information that I'm trying to give him? Because even if I'm giving him the right information, he's going to say, well, why you ain't do it? Why you ain't do it? So I'm trying to, the information like I got, I'm trying to exercise it to show. And it's easier now. It's easier now. The internet, we Google all types of dumb stuff, man. Like we be on YouTube and all types of stuff. We know about people's lives more than we know about the people that in our own lives. You know what I'm saying? We know about what was going on with them before we know about our own lives. So my thing is, depending on how you use it, it has a lot of information. So, but we're battling it. So my thing is, if I can get people like this, my son and other youth, to understand, like, listen, it's other ways, but I have to show it too. They don't want to hear that you can't learn how to be a millionaire from the guy on the corner who's drinking like Taylor's Port. You know what I'm saying? And he might have the right idea, but you're not going to respect what he's saying because he's sitting there on the corner drinking Taylor's Port.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Like
So
if you hear it from him or you hear it from a millionaire, like
exactly,
who are you going to hear?
It's the image. And it's sad to say that, but even with propaganda, you put a dude with a white suit, with a white or the white jacket on, and you put him on the stage, and it say PhD right here, you're going to think he's a doctor. No, they just grabbed that dude from the back. He's the fucking cook. But you're going to believe it because he's on the stage. You know what I'm saying? With the white coat on. So it's like image, man. It's like image. Like on some real shit, like you see all this. I don't wear this shit. It's only because I'm on a podcast, man.
Really? 'Cause you rock that shit. You should wear it.
Look
Like,
here, man. There's levels to it, man.
I'm gonna steal it.
Yo, Loft Boyz do stuff different, man. Loft Boyz do stuff different, man. We on a different level, man. But we trying to show people how to reach levels. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to show people how to be the best of them. You don't have to be a chief. You can be an Indian when you go outside your house, but you're supposed to be a chief in your own space. Be a chief of yourself. You know what I'm saying? You might say, I don't want to run everything, but I want them to run it, and I can just take a lot of money that they're going to pay me. Cool. That's cool, but just be prepared if they want to stop paying you. That's all I'm saying. Understand how property ownership, understand early retirement, understand finance, understand your credit. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to do what I'm saying, but let me just spark something in you so you open your phone other than to look at Instagram or look at asses or whatever you're looking at. You know what I'm saying?
that's the same. The Instagram and ass. That's all one thing, right?
It's a lot of ass on Instagram.
Yeah. Sometimes
just
too
I'ma
much.
just leave that there.
Too much ass sometimes.
I'ma just leave that
Mr.
there.
Shabezz be sending me too much ass.
Oh man.
How do you get to too much ass? now?
Look, I'll show you what he sent me. It's too
TMA.
much. It's too much.
TMA. Too much ass.
But speaking on, so the ideal situation for the information is you send him out into the world. He comes back to you and says, "Hey, I seen this. Is this legit? Is this the way I should be doing it?"
Yeah.
Instead of just going and doing it. That'd be the ideal situation. That's
Yeah.
hopefully, because I got my son too. It's like, hey, go out there, do your thing, but come back, report back to me. At least run it by me,
Yeah.
so I could say, hey, it's that's fucked up or whatever, or maybe go.
Yeah.
I think that's where we want to be at. Like you're talking about the man of the house. Like
Yeah.
instead of them being like, he ain't gonna fucking understand or he ain't gonna
Yeah.
he's going to think it's stupid or whatever.
Yeah.
Run it by me. Let me know, and I'll
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah. Because the wrong person might jump on it before you do. So you love your son. So you want to tell him first. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a known fact that almost like kids learn better from other kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if it's an older sibling in the house, that younger sibling will learn faster maybe than the older sibling because he has something to look forward to, like already. You know what I'm saying? It's more relatable. You know
But
what I
also,
mean?
there's dangerous people out there, and you don't want your kid hooking up with the wrong kid that he don't give a fuck. He don't got a dad to run stuff by.
Yeah.
He's running it, and he's going to take your kid with him.
Yeah.
That's the scary thing.
Yeah. And
of
that's
having kids.
That's why I'm starting to speak to these other kids, other than just my own. I just came from Seattle, seeing Councilman Keith Blocker. Shout out to Councilman Keith Blocker, his wife Christina Blocker. Shout out to Momentum. Shout out to KTB International. Shout out to TDH. Yo, TDH, you gotta check his music out. Yo, toodamnhot.com, man. TDH, that's another affiliate. But no, seriously, like I just came out there giving a nice little speech for Keith Blocker. Keith Blocker had a birthday and he had some acceptance type thing, and they wanted me to come out to speak. So that was pretty dope. It was like congressmen, senators, and judges and all types. It was a vibe, man. Like this is the dude that me and brother Shabezz grew up with. You know what I'm saying? We went to high school with. So it's people doing, we got a circle of people doing some big things. And I want to shout them out because they treat me like I call Councilman Keith Blocker the king of Tacoma. Like he's just like coming out there like he pieces things together. Like Philadelphia went over there with him. You see what I'm saying? They not one used to it. And he has a genuine heart. You know what I'm saying? And I call him the king because when I went out there, I got treated like a king. That's, it's one thing for you to have that stature, but for you to express or expel that stature to somebody else, to extend that, I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? So, shout out to him. And we're doing a lot of things together. They're grooming me and helping me with the motivational speaking that I'm doing with a lot of these kids because it's all about the youth. A lot of things I talk to people like our age goes in one ear and out the other. They're like, yeah, that's cool. They don't fucking care. You know what I'm saying? Because as you get older, we live more, so we get more fear. We seen somebody drown, so we scared of water now.
There's just more understanding. I remember being like in elementary school, having somebody come in. It's like he's gonna talk to you guys. Like you don't have to go to math class, but you gotta listen. It's like, all right, cool. I get to like daydream for an hour because who's this dude that's 60? He's gonna tell me something. Like I'm 12.
Yeah.
Like what is he gonna tell me that I care about? Like maybe I should have been listening. Who knows? Probably.
Listen.
But at the time, if it's whatever that was being said is coming from somebody that I'm in school with or an older sibling, like you were saying,
yeah,
then it's like, oh, now it's real. Now it means something. But when you get somebody that's doesn't have that connection,
yeah,
that's where it gets lost.
It's a reason why Elon Musk connects to people more than Warren Buffett does. Elon Musk is the cool billionaire. You know what I'm saying? Like Mark Zuckerberg, shout out to him, but he's not what people. He's not looked at as cool.
That dude's a robot. He's not even a person.
I don't want to take advice from somebody that drinks water like that. You know what I mean? Like.
No comment.
But to your point of motivational speaking, so you need to hit the person that needs it right then. Because going to a classroom full of kids, they don't want to hear that shit. No. But you got to get in contact with the guy that he's at that point in life when he's really questioning things, and he needs to hear what you got to say. That's the people we got. That's why the internet's beautiful. Yeah. Because you can be on there. You're there 24/7. Those people will come to you, like a bee and pollen. Like they'll find you, and then they get what they need off of you.
See, I do know one thing though. The kids depending on what age you get or you attacking, like all these kids got phones and Cash App, right? So if you send a kid $5 who got a Cash App and you tell him, yo, whatever sneakers you got on right now, toss like 2 or 3 of that in that stock. You know what I'm saying? Like let's make a deal. You do whatever you got to do and whatever, your grades or work or life or whatever. I'll keep a little rotation of sending you something. But the deal is, if you want to keep this going, you got to put a portion of that in some type of stock. You know what I'm saying? Like, if my son decided to stay with me, you know, in his adult life, in that right after high school, college, yeah, he got to have a job. Yeah, he got to pay me some money to stay there. But what am I doing? I want to put that up for him. I don't need his money. But I need that for him to understand that anything you do in life, you got to pay for. But we all get money, but what do we do with it? It's people that's better off that work at McDonald's than people that have maybe a 6-figure job just because of what they do with their money.
Some people waste it on Supreme.
We're not going to say who that is, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
Keep paying the people that are putting us down, man.
Stand, preach, stand.
Can't support the community, man. Supreme. Who's the guy that runs Supreme? Anybody know?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
I
either.
know who runs Loft Boyz.
That's... And do you got cool shirts?
Yeah. Yes.
There we go.
Yeah. You know what, too? All right, the manufacturer was like a little late once we scheduled this. But I was trying to have it to where I could bring you guys shirts, too. But, you know, that's a segue.
Well, that's fine, because we got
Yeah,
shirts
we got
for you
shirts
guys.
for you, so...
Oh, man. See, that's great.
Yeah.
And plus, that was a segue for me to come back. Like, I got to bring y'all shirts again.
There we go.
Shit,
Yeah,
all right.
Every guest we have on is welcome back, for sure. Especially after they've done some stuff. That's the point of this podcast. We're starting it off. We're showing everybody. And then come back later and report back to us like, yo, we did this new shit. Check it out.
Yeah.
That's the point of it.
Exactly what y'all was just talking about.
Yeah.
That's the
we
point.
Important information.
Yep.
Yeah.
Listen,
Important information.
We got a lot of things going on. Like, listen, real quick plug. So, Loft and Loft LLC, we definitely going to buy some more property this year. We're going, so I'm later on. I'm gonna definitely put some things out there. I want to start crowdfunding to show anybody that wanted to donate or wanted to be a part of, the Loft and Lofts community, how you can get into real estate with not much money. And as far as Loft Boyz Entertainment, definitely got a lot of Choctaw music coming up. We're booking a lot of things with Heavy Riches LLC. Like I said, she's one of my rocks right now. There's a lot of things I couldn't do without her. Production wise, I'm like I said, I'm working with TDH too. Shout out to him. They over. He's from Ohio, but he's over in Tacoma, Washington right now. They doing their thing out there. Shout out to DJ Mount G's. We got a lot of things going on. So far as me, as William Lofton, just me, the motivational speaker. Huh?
I want to shout out William Lofton.
There you go, right?
No, because honestly, I feel like, so speaking about
Yeah, there you go.
examples.
You can pull that towards you if you want.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, I forget what New Year's it was. Do you remember, was it 2020? Anyway, it was maybe like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, probably 2021.
Yeah, we were celebrating New Year's together, us and our family, and that was kind of the first time where Will sat us down and was like, yo, y'all need to listen to what I'm about to say.
I thought there were two of you for a second right there.
Exactly, I got it. But that's where he really started mentioning about just being financially stable, being like knowing what's going on. And since that time, I can say that I have listened to him, and I was able to make certain moves where now I feel like if something were to happen, then I'm covered. And just be not just the financially, just in life in general, especially because he has such a good heart, and he just really wants people to do well, and he really wants you to be successful, whether you're his family or whether you're just a person that has that good energy and wants to learn. So thank you. We love you.
No, I love that shout out because
That's a
he's
good
sitting
one.
here. He spent, what is this, like an hour, however long we've been doing this, and
Everybody
shouting
else
out everybody else
yeah.
out without,
But
like,
that's
you know,
what I mean. Like,
that's why, you
that's what
know,
it is.
not humble, like your company. That's like, but no,
You know what I'm saying?
but that's what I'm saying. It's like,
I got y'all.
Every time, you know, just every once in a while,
Yeah, listen.
be not humble.
Be not humble. Sometimes you can't.
And that's why
See?
I get it's LLC.
Every once in a while, just be not humble.
Just gotta be not humble. Sometimes.
Why you gotta like, limit your thinking. You ain't gotta sit at the table with everybody else all the time. You know what I mean?
Be comfortable sitting by yourself.
You gotta be outside the box. Like you can't limit your success and put yourself in. You know what I mean?
Push it further in, yeah.
All right, here.
Pause.
You don't really want to limit your success mentally. You know what I mean?
To
Yeah,
translate,
yeah.
sometimes you gotta stone on these motherfuckers.
Where the
No.
cheese at?
Right? Listen. Excuse my jury. No, but
You work hard
Yeah,
for it.
you do.
You put your effort in. You do what you got to do. You take the steps in life. Why should you be humble? You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
So,
yeah. Sometimes you know what? Because
I gotta be humble.
especially
You know what
with
I mean?
people that's givers.
I
And
work for this. Well, I gotta be humble.
everybody that's in this room too are givers. I will say that.
Definitely.
They definitely givers. So sometimes I gotta remind these guys, and I love them all. I gotta remind them like, yo, as givers, you still gotta worry about yourself because guess what? If you got a glass that's full of water, you can only pour but so many glasses to help somebody else drink before you're empty. So what good are you with an empty glass? Sometimes it's nothing wrong with worrying about other people like me. I love to help other people, but I can't help you if I'm fucked up myself. And that's just how it is. So sometimes I gotta remind these people like, yo, we might be at the top of the food chain one day, and we have to help people, but we can't help them unless we get all the way up there. So let's stay focused and not let our heart just drive us to just leak the damn money out our pocket. You know what I'm saying? That hole just keep burning and burning. You like, ah, damn. Because shit. Anybody who work a 9 to 5, I don't care what you do. Whatever you do, the money come in faster than when you spend it. And if it doesn't for you, please hit me up listen, it's on there. Yo, hit me up and let me know. Contact Heavy Riches, contact Chalk Doe, contact Benny Blunt. Listen, we movement. This is what we doing. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to segue into since I said that. I do have a movement that we trying to do is the We Movement. A lot of things is in the works with that now. It's called We as in WHEE, as in wealth, health, and everything else. So, and there's definitely once we actually launch, and definitely I want to get you guys a part of it because it's like a thing of I want it to be like a informational business hub. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's going to be the website in itself where, like I said, it's going to be teach you about finance. Teach you about like early retirement and property ownership and all that. It's going to teach you about, health, eating well, try to live longer. There's no point in getting money if you're not going to be around to spend it and enjoy it. So we got to understand like everything in this world is not about money. Money is just a tool to get you where you want to get to. Stop putting money on this super pedestal. Y'all got to stop doing that. Seriously. Because with inflation, money just dwindles down every day. So the whole key is, to be honest with you, if you get yourself together and you get your credit right and you get some good cash flow, you ain't got to spend your money no more. You spend their money, you borrow it, you make the deal, you pay them back, and you keep the rest. And you keep doing it because they know you good money. So if they gave you $10,000 and you paid them back on time or early, they like, oh, let's give them 15 or 20. Because they respect that you paid them back, but they want you to fall on that interest rate. Because the interest rate is how they get paid. But they will let you slide with some stuff because they're gonna get rich off the people who don't pay on time. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? But they want to catch you slipping. But if you stay focused, you keep running it up. You know what I'm saying? You start with $500. Oh, I can get a loan from the bank for $1,500. All right, well, why don't you make your mission $1 million? You know what I'm saying? It's in steps, though. When you go in a house, you don't look at the second floor like, I'm going to jump up there. You look at the steps. That's the problem. We always look at up there. Look in between. There's steps to get there. Doesn't mean you can't get there. But if you take the steps, you definitely get there. So that's just what I promote. And that's what the We Movement is trying to do. So we're trying to be like a hub to put all these things, facilitate it to where as though even other people that do other things on that same wavelength, it's like, come to this hub, and if this the hub that you know, okay, you'll find the Expresslane link on there. You know what I'm saying? And when you look up podcasts, or you look up, you know, booking agents, or you look up clothing line, or you look up any other things, like, shit, it's going to be there. So therefore, that website takes you to their website or your website. And then it's like, now we're a community of information. You know what I'm saying? It's all about networking. It's all about affiliating. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're only going to be as big as your infrastructure and the people that you know. If you only know 10 people, if you got a product, guess what? You only got 10 motherfuckers to sell to. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
That's why it's super interesting. Like, so we've got other friends talking about the health as wealth people out of West Philly. They're, gym rats. They're out of there.
Okay, yeah, I heard of them.
Yeah,
heard of them, yeah.
That's
Shout
their
out
whole
to them.
thing. Shout out to them for sure. Another motivational podcast is another person I met who she now has her own podcast. She does exactly what we're doing right now. She brings on entrepreneurs, but it's just crazy how many out of the city people, now that we've got internet, they can do their own things.
Exactly.
They can, they could run their own talents and show everybody and then connect everybody through that, which is really cool.
And that's what it's all about, is elevation, man. It's like, you don't have to be this person or that person to reach their levels. No, just be the best you that you could be. Don't let nobody put a glass ceiling over you. You know what I'm saying? Only you can limit yourself. Seriously. Only you can limit yourself. Don't let nobody else limit you.
You know, what draws moths to light? The light. Be the light so that other people come to you.
Like I said, sometimes you got to shine on these motherfuckers.
Plus, I'd rather be broke with good friends and family than a millionaire by myself.
Yeah, say none of this shit works out. We all work 9 to 5 till we're dead. You guys seem like really great people. I'd like to know you.
Appreciate it.
You know what I mean? Like,
Appreciate it. Likewise.
we could all at least, the very least, make good friends and find good people.
Yeah. And let me say this. Rich and poor is a state of mind. Let me repeat that. Rich and poor is a state of mind. So, you know when my life started changing is when I stopped thinking like an employee. When I started thinking like the person who runs the business. When I stopped thinking about the person who looks at just the flashy stuff. I started thinking, what makes it flash? How much they make to make it flash? How much it costs to make it flash? Like I said, I just had a drive of questions. Why the fuck is he in a Lamborghini with a $7 million house and I'm not? There's nothing wrong. I don't have nothing against him. I don't want no handouts. I just want information. How'd you do it? If you can put me down with how to do it, I promise you that if I'm down with it, I'll try it. I don't want your handout. And I ain't trying to give nobody no handout. The only handout I'm trying to give out is information. Because that lets me see if you're serious about it. I give you information and you take it and do the dirty work. And if you're doing the dirty work, you know what? You come back to me, I'll fuck around and get dirty with you. They'll let you know. They'll let you know. I'll get dirty with you. I don't give a fuck. It's not a stature thing. Like I said, we all bosses. I'm maybe the leader or whatever of Loft Boyz. They're bosses. I told them I don't want them to be employees of me. If you want to be down with this, you have your company. We come together as companies, as bosses. And that's just the mission that I'm on.
Well, I feel like there's 3 mentalities to seeing a rich person. There's the person that's like, well, how can I rob that guy? Then there's the person that'll never be me. And then there's the person that's, how'd he get there? The questioning person.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
Be the questioning person. See how you can do it.
Yeah. I was watching some, I don't know the YouTuber's name, but it was this YouTuber that I kind of got that from a little bit. Like, a lot of information that I get in life experience is kind of, I just absorb it like a sponge. And it makes, I guess, the guy that's in front of you. But he was just going around and I guess he was like in LA or some shit, because I was like, that shit ain't around here. But everywhere he was going, it was like foreign after foreign after foreign after foreign after foreign. He just rolling up to motherfuckers like, yo, what you do for a living? And I'm like, I respect that. It's dope, because I do be wanting to know, yo, how the fuck, what did you just do? What do you do? Seriously.
I know what YouTuber you're talking about. I just ask people in nice cars what they do.
Yeah.
And then he's got his thing.
Yeah, now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I seen that.
It's damn, yo, because it's just like I said, we get boxed in, man. Like, we see it. We look at it as entertainment. One thing I heard, like, you're either going to be a producer or a consumer. Like right now, what we're doing, we're producing content.
Mm-hmm.
The people that's watching it is going to be consumers of content, which is nothing wrong. We appreciate your views. We love all y'all. But do you have something to produce also? You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys gave me an opportunity, gave us an opportunity. I produced things. They produced things. We came together. And we probably be more beneficial to each other as bosses than just being, like we said, we appreciate the views and the love, but you can do it too. You know what I'm saying? We can watch each other videos. Yeah. We can support each other. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not going to be a boss. Everybody's not. Let's just state that. Everybody's not going to be a boss. They can't. They can't. But some people that have the potential don't know the opportunities they have. And that's what I just want.
And that's a whole mindset, and it's something that my dad said when I was, you know, and it was kind of a dig at me at the time because I was like failing some class in high school. He was like, you know, the world needs ditch diggers. Like the world, like someone has to go dig that ditch. And then I kind of thought about it and like being like, man, all right, it's a little fucked up. But like taking that and running with it is like, okay, maybe I'm not gonna be the guy that's running the CEO, but if I'm gonna be out there digging a ditch, I guarantee you I'm gonna fucking work harder, and like that hard work is gonna get noticed, and then I'm not doing that anymore. I'm doing something else, and then I'm working harder than because that's the one thing I can control over anything else. I might not be the most talented or whatever type of
the smartest, the prettiest.
I was gonna say all that, but you kind of fuck you, Stan. But you might not have the most talent, but you can work harder than anybody else.
Yeah.
And hard work beats talent 9 times out of 10.
Yo, fucking Kev, yo, you hit it on the nose. I tell people that all the time. Don't I say that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hard work beats talent all the time. Because when you're talented, you get that ego.
You get lazy.
And you get lazy, pride.
Yeah.
All that. You like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? And you know what people with talent have a problem with? Failing. Like, if something comes hard to them because they see used to shit being easy, when something comes hard to them, they get an attitude.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck? That's stupid.
That's stupid. People that give up are people that haven't tried it that much.
But you know what? A funny story about that whole digger thing. Like, so it was this, when I was working at the War Department, right? It was this picture that we had up on somewhere on Bulletin. So it was like, I had a picture of all these people, right? It said like project manager, building director, license and inspection, this and the third, and all these other people, right? They just standing around. And then it had one name. It said Andre. That's the dude that had the shovel in his hand. That was the only motherfucker working. And we used to say, it's fucked up. You know, all of us is Andre. True story, bro. True story. That's 100, man. That was funny as shit. Like, you seen all the titles, like CDO, this, that, and third, director, project manager. Then it was just like Andre. He just got a shovel in a hole. While everybody else looking at their phones, looking at plans and shit. It's crazy. But
but we could all be we all are Andre for a while.
Yeah, we are. I was Andre.
And the views, how cool is it that you can support somebody? All you have to do is watch their shit. Like that thing that's floating around on Instagram. You ain't watch my shit. Yeah, give them a like, give them a follow, give them a comment. That's all it does to help somebody succeed. It's the easiest it's ever been to help somebody succeed.
So I'm glad you said that, right? So with that being said, Loft Boyz Entertainment, William Lofton, Lofton, whatever y'all supporting, and the Expresslane. Yo, it's so easy to share something, especially if y'all know us. But y'all will share something of somebody who's already popping. Already popping to your audience. When it's people that you know that's trying to get to that level and you won't share. You know what I'm saying? They have a podcast. She's a book agent. She does event planning. He's an artist. He has clothing line. I have a whole lot of shit going on. But I'm a motivational speaker. You know what I'm saying? I'm a producer. I have a production company. I have a housing investment company. But we're all on the grind right now. But The names that you know already is the stuff that you will share and show love to, and you don't know them. We are all genuine people. We will appreciate and love your support. In any way we can try to help y'all, we will. But these people that y'all supporting that y'all don't know, that's already popping, is not. So I'm just saying, think of that, man. Because one day, if you listen to this podcast and that light shines or comes on in your head, you're going to need that. And you're going to understand what I'm saying, and you're going to need that same support. So please understand that. We out here grinding. We trying to do something better.
To put that for like nerds, like you guys are, we've got places for people. Like, all right, I need the sorcerer, I need the fighter, I need the paladin. We got the clothing guy, we got the warrior, we got the person that puts people in places.
Yes.
Like, so get a bunch of those in your library of people. Like, oh, when something comes up in the future, they could pop right in your head. I know a guy about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know Mr Shabezz. He knows people. Who's your people that you're gonna throw up to me?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yo, I got to shout out Jazz Custom Crafts because she actually made these shirts. You know, shout out to her. As I remember people, I'm going to definitely shout them out. I love
For sure.
y'all. I
Yeah.
appreciate
Yeah.
it. Because you know why? I feel so, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I was fired not too long ago. Like, a few months ago, a couple months ago, whatever. And I feel so free. Like, I'm actually the happiest I've ever been besides the birth of my children and shit. Like, I'm like happy as hell. Like, cause I have my time. And when I was working and like after the past few years, like when I'm trying to teach, like I said, the job I did have, they was paying me well. I'm not going to shout them out, but they was paying me well. So I learned to put my money in the right places. So it's like, now I already had the entrepreneurship spirit. So now it's like everything that I was telling people along my journey to try to get here is like, all right, now I put my money where my mouth is. You know what I'm saying? Me and Ms. Richardson talk about it all the time. So, excuse me. So yeah, now it's just like, I'm just living it, man. It's just like, it's crazy.
Also, you have to compromise when you have a gig that's paying you just enough to get by. You got to
Crazy.
compromise. Each compromise comes with a cost.
So I just wanted to share too because I actually lost my job first before he did, and I had 15 years in this corporate company, but it was again back to how great Will is that I knew that this could potentially happen in these corporate companies because you're just an employee, as
expendable.
He said. Like you're so replaceable. That literally your whole livelihood, you're counting on all this money, 70, whatever you're making a year to support your family, and then it can literally be gone in just like overnight. And a lot of people don't have a backup. A lot of people don't even have like savings in their account for just what they might lose in a month or two. So, so I love that Will was able to, like, it felt like the timing was so perfect because right after I lost mine and then that happened with his. So it was like, well, what's in our way now? There's really no excuses.
Let's do it.
So it was dope.
Yeah, so everything going up from now.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I got another shout out. This is a shout out from. All right, so this is Birth and Life Doula Services. Shout out to her, Sister Nikita. She's doing some great things out Tacoma, Washington, helping women with natural childbirth, and she also has a skincare line there too. I don't have that.
That's fine. I'll find all that stuff and I'll post it in the under the comments and stuff.
But yeah, shout out to her.
And if you're listening out in Tacoma, Washington,
shout out to Tacoma.
give us
Washington.
a comment. Be like, yo,
Shout out to
Tacoma's here.
Tacoma. Shout out to Seattle. Shout out to SeaTech. Shout out.
If we can get across the continent, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ohio, my man TDH, man. Shout out to them. Shout out to my man Dre too. my man. Listen, my man Dre from Tacoma, like he good people. Like I seriously, when I went out there, when I go out there, I've been out there a couple times now. Like I get treated like a king, man. It's so much love, man, and I appreciate him. Like you know what I mean. Shout out Senator Tawanda. Seriously, like that, like yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like my boy Councilman Blocker be having around like senators and councilmen and congressmen. And
So when are we able to see your name on the ballot box? When's that step coming?
Oh man, one thing I will say this, Kev. One thing I learned about politics is it caps you of what you can do outside of politics. So I don't know if I would ever do that, but I definitely love working. I would definitely love working with politicians, especially if it comes to bettering our communities and cities and our youth, helping our youth. I'm always down. Anybody, hit me up. You can hit her up. Yeah. So we'll get all the information. Everything will be in the comments or wherever y'all put
All
it.
right. Well, I think that's a great way to end this. To just the shout outs, to leave it at the very inspirational thing of like,
Definitely.
look, just always keep your whatever you want to call it, side hustle or whatever. Just keep what you love doing in the back of your mind in case some bad shit happens. Like right now, we're living in strange times. Shit could happen at any time. You know what I mean? Inflation's crazy. The dollar might not be worth anything. Who knows? We'll bounce back. It's America, but you never know. So keep a backup plan. This has been another episode of the Expresslane Podcast.
With Kevin
Shout out
Stan.
to shout out to Kevin Stan
And
You know what I'm
Mr.
saying? Getting
Shabezz
Mr. Shabezz for putting all this together.
for being the link,
yes, he was like the liaison.
the plug, whatever you want to call him.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, anybody I forgot, I'm sorry. Shout out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I love everybody. Touchdown, everything, all the links and all the information. Will be
I'll
on
plug
this.
it in.
Yeah, he'll plug it in.
See it on the Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Peace.